Liverpool versus everybody. I've been thinking a while about starting another channel, an additional channel, and just talking about football topics in general, especially during international breaks. But I thought one channel is enough to run and post and things of that nature. I'm going to just do it on this channel for international breaks. I don't watch too much international football when you have these breaks. My main interest is Liverpool, to be honest. Every now and then, if it's on, I might check it. But yeah, I'm not really following too much of that. So I wanted to start off with some news, not necessarily breaking, but just kind of maybe some new news to me and just some things that hasn't been necessarily news to me, but I wanted to speak about them. First thing I'm going to talk about is the sad news about Deonaton Teixeira, dead at age 25. Former Premier League player with Stoke, I think 3 seasons, center back, I believe. Yeah, 25 years old, died in his hometown, apparent heart attack. It's awful news. It's awful news to lose his life that way at that age. It's just one of those things that you kind of remember to, if you have beef with your family and loved ones and just people that you care about, do all your best to squash all that beef. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's probably not that serious. And if it's a loved one, a family member, for sure, friends or whatever, people who are close to you, it's best to remember the link that you do have with them, and remember that that's bigger than any kind of issue or beef you guys could have with each other. Tomorrow's not promised, and people that are falling off left and right, not just in sports, in general, of course. And we just want to be thankful for the day that we have each day, and try to be better, and thankful to the people who are around us, who love us, and things of that nature. So, yeah, tough to read that. I wish his family the best, and may he rest in power. On to West Ham and second Bilic. I think we kind of saw that coming. I think he knew that coming, and throughout the game and even in the post-match, he had this really, Slaven Bilic doesn't really have a big voice from what I've heard, and at least in conferences and interviews. Who knows what he's like on the practice pitch, but he had this really hushed kind of whisper, and just his demeanor. I think the guy asked him if he was confident. The guy asked a bunch of stupid questions, which is par for the course, but he just seemed to be a defeated man. He really did. I think he knew it was coming. And I believe in the interview after it came, I think he said he saw it coming. So it is what it is. I think Slaven did really well there. Remember the season when they had Payet, and they were just really smoking, doing really good. I thought they'd finish higher that season, actually, and just thought the season afterwards that they'd be much better. Even thought maybe, top 4 at that time. They were playing that good. I mean, they did us over a couple times during that stretch. So, it's unfortunate for him. It's funny because a lot of the commentators, at least on the state side, were led to believe that the fans were sticking behind him and the players. The players, maybe, I don't know. I think there's a few players that probably weren't. Arnautovic is one of them. Several other guys, I feel like, just kind of gave up in that game against us early on. Not even towards the end of the game, just gave up by halftime. But that's the business that we're in, right? With football, if you're not producing, fans are going to come, and then soon the board's going to come, and then soon you're leaving, and somebody else is going to come in. But David Moyes, come on. Why is it that every time I turn around, he is someone who is considered for a job? I don't get it. What has he done in the last few positions he's had? Be it Sunderland, of course, Man United. I think he was a manager over in Spain with, I can't think of the name of the team right now. But, I don't get it, man. There's so many other people who are so qualified that I'm not going to go into a long list of now. But, there's certain people that need opportunities, and Moyes is just not that one. So if I'm a West Ham fan, I'm not too pleased with that appointment. I don't really see how in any way he's going to improve what's going on there. I just really don't. I don't know if they tried to get Sam back, Big Sam Allardyce. I don't know if they tried to get Koeman or who, but there's got to be a plethora of guys to go with before Moyes. So again, if I'm a fan, I'm and if I was a fan who wanted Bilic out, then I wouldn't be necessarily excited with this. It's not one of the things where we just need to get him out and just appoint anybody. That's what they did, in my opinion. So, it just shows you some people, get a good way to go for some reason when they don't deserve it. On to Arsene Wenger. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of Sterling. I'm gonna give him respect. He's doing really, really good this year. He didn't have his best game last match against Arsenal. I shouldn't say that overall. No, there was one situation I saw where it had a breakaway. It was him and Sonny on the other side, and a simple pass for a professional, you would think, and he missed the pass, and you can see how Pep reacted to that. And I think things like that for Sterling really, really get to his confidence, and he probably wasn't in the game as much as he probably would have after that situation. And we know everything that happened with him in Liverpool. Cool, whatever. But, Arsene Wenger coming out at the end of the game and being Captain Deflecto, always deflecting from his team. He might be worse than Mourinho at this point, which is saying a lot. Saying that we, everyone knows Sterling dives and he's a great diver, and blaming the refs and things of that nature. Listen, they had a rough way to go. The offsides goal was atrocious. There's no reason why that should have stood. I didn't see the penalty. I don't know. At the end of the day, Man City was probably always going to win that game, especially because he didn't start his striker that he got. Like I said, it made no sense to me. So focus on your squad, get your squad ready, and make better choices when you're picking a starting 11, and don't critique the refs. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of discipline that came on to him, because he criticized the refs pretty heavily as well before talking about Sterling. So it just shows that he's definitely lost the plot. And again, as an Arsenal, if I was an Arsenal supporter, I'd be pretty upset with that. He's got some faithfuls down there, and a lot of them are going to support him, to the end, and that's their own prerogative. But Arsene Wenger's got to go. It doesn't really make sense. He's got guys playing all out of position. You're not starting guys you need to be starting. It's just crazy. You got Sanchez starting, who clearly wants to leave against the team that he wants to go to. You know what I mean? And I guess you could say Sanchez are always going to put in a good fight, but you got to start Lacazette up there, in my opinion. So he didn't. They got what they got. He needs to stop deflecting. He needs to deal with his team. Jose Mourinho and Conte, no handshake gate is ridiculous. I mean, Klopp had a situation with that with I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was West Brom, Crystal Palace. I can't remember who it was. And I agree with Antonio Conte on this, although I think he's a bit of an asshole, to be honest. But it's not that big a deal. You played the game. You shake hands before the game. If you miss it after, if you're going to congratulate your teammate, your players, and shake the officials' hands, whatever, I don't think it's a big deal. Now, the other side is, if Moreno would have done this, yes, everybody would have been up in arms and complaining about him and all that. So I guess I can see it from both sides. But all in all, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think Chelsea were the better team in that game. And there were moments in that game that were interesting to watch, but overall it wasn't. It's a Moreno team. We know how that's going to look. Although I feel like they play a bit more attacking than they would have against us or any other teams, which, that's his own business for doing. But he likes to deflect. He likes to deflect as well. Pogba's not there, whatever. Every team has injuries. It seems like City may have the least amount. I know they don't have Mendy and maybe one other person or something, but everybody's got injuries. It's hard to really go through that, but you can't make that an excuse for not winning the game. David Silva over in Chelsea, just to kind of pick it back up on Conte. Conte is already starting to form this kind of this idea, this feeling that he has issues with players from time to time. Of course, the much talked about Diego Costa situation, and now David Silva. Not David Silva. David Luiz. Apparently going to be out of the Chelsea team indefinite or to further notice in favor of Christensen, I guess his name is. Who knows what's going on with that? I think Antonio Conte is probably a really, really strict disciplinarian. I don't have a problem with that. But a lot of times he alienates himself from players, and that could have a bad influence on the team, and that can rub off the wrong way. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I really don't care that much, but I think it's good for Chelsea to come back and bounce back and get that win. By hook or by crook, they got it. The 1-0 is what they needed, and they did it. So that's pretty good for them. Just to wrap up real quick, back to Liverpool, of course. I was on Redman TV a lot this morning and afternoon here, and been seeing a lot of things, and I'm still just amazed at the lack of support, respect even. Emre Can continues to get I think sometimes people forget how young he is and how much of a beast he is right now, and how much he's going to grow. And for people to say that he doesn't even make the top 10 players on Liverpool is beyond laughable. I mean, there were guys like Hendo, Milner, Klein, Ings put before him, and it's just, I don't remember the last time Ings played a full match for us in the first team. So I don't, that alone is just ridiculous. And if you can't see that, then look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but some of this stuff is just insanity. I love Jan, and of course I'm maybe somewhat partial because he's my favorite player on the team, but the eye test, and I feel like Juventus wouldn't be coming in for him that interested if he. I mean, it's Juventus. They're Italian champions for I don't know how many times straight, and then over the years, just in general. So I don't know. I mean, I to lose him on a free is a big mistake. But it is what it is. What can you do about it? We'll see what happens. If he leaves, I'll miss him, and that's enough for me. But yeah, that's gonna wrap this up, and I'll be back maybe throughout this week as new things come in and out. This is more like just a trial period thing, and see if how I feel about it. Maybe if you guys have some feelings about it, whatever. If not, that's cool as well. But I love talking football, and during these 2 weeks off, it's always so crazy to have to wait and wait and wait. It seems like much longer than 2 weeks for another Liverpool game. So just to kind of keep myself occupied and keep myself interested, I'm going to come on here when I feel the need and time to do it. So yeah, maybe I'll see you guys again in a couple days. Till then.